We have two more topics for the rest of this episode. We're gonna jump into the next one now. Okay.
The interesting one.
This one really boils my blood. I don't know about you guys, but man, every time I read about it, I just feel like really. Even though I'm not a 40k person, but out of all the Game Workshop properties, right, 40k is my favorite story. Yeah,
yes, everybody like the law a lot.
Correct. Yeah, the 40k stories is like to me the most mature, the most adult, the most like gritty and real, to the point where it's almost like a parody of our own reality. You look at some of the stuff that's happening around the world locally, in political scenes, you can't help but feel like, hey, these GW writers, they are quite prescient in their writing. Like it really reflects a lot, and I think this is like the magic of 40k. I mean, I'm a fantasy player, but the fantasy writing is always too comical for me. It's just very, very wacky. Conversely, the 40k lore is like very grounded, very gritty. Wendy, are you familiar at all with like the lore of like the 40k?
Yes, not very much, I would say, but I've played the Space Marine game and I'm looking forward to the new one as well.
Space Marine 2.
And yes, Space Marine 2, they look awesome, and I love the hack and slash, but then at the same time, the board game itself, I recently just joined in and I'm building my own army as well.
Nice.
Okay. Which army are you building?
I chose Necron, so it's my first one. It's a bit hard, but I love the lore, like honestly.
The undead guys.
Yeah,
okay.
they're
Space
so mean.
undeads.
Terminators.
Space
Terminators.
zombies.
Space zombies.
Yeah. I mean, like personally, so when we all know Henry Cavill, right? The guy who played The Witcher.
Yeah.
One of us.
On the Netflix series. And then after that he saw to popularity. Then he came out as basically a giant nerd, and he is like very much in depth into the 40k lore, and he is such a huge 40k nerd, and he was very, very excited about creating a new
TV show?
Yeah, TV show for at least the Warhammer 40k universe. Maybe we don't actually know which particular story they are zoning in on yet. We don't know if it's a Space Marine story or an Inquisitor story or a Guardsman story. We don't know any of the details. But of course, Space Marine is the most integral part of the 40k lore. Right? There's almost no story that you can create without at least introducing some Astartes inside, right? Without introducing some amount of Space Marines inside.
Yeah, they're the poster boys of 40k.
Absolutely, yeah. So it comes as a shock, right? When Henry Cavill started to make noise on his social media, saying that Amazon, the studio that is helping him to create the 40k TV show, wants to include female Space Marines. So this one will be very controversial, and I want to make it very clear: it's nothing to do with like hating women or what. It's nothing to do with any of that. But I think there's something to be said about being faithful
to the law,
to
the canon,
to canon, to want to accurately express the story within it, and not have Hollywood executive like impose their own sense into it. Like, so Wendy as our resident female. So now you represent all women.
A resident female. I mean, I wouldn't I'm not gonna say that regarding that thing, I don't really have much thought on it besides the fact that if I were to create a series myself based on such a grimdark lore, I like to follow the law as accurately as possible, honestly. Like introducing new elements that are unnecessary even when you already have Sisters of Battle, I think
good point. A very good point.
The Systems of Battle, right? Actually, it's so interesting how they wrote the Sisters of Battle. Are you familiar? Are you familiar with the Sisters of Battle?
A little bit, yeah. I know
Unfortunately, I'm not.
Okay, I will give a brief primer on it. So, like, this is a grimdark reality, right? And so the Emperor of Humanity is dead. Then now they are worshipping the Emperor as a deity, which is contravening the original wishes of the Emperor. So they have this huge church that's built around worshipping the dead emperor. And there was this rebellion that was fomented, right, as a result of this church. Okay, so they started to fight against the High Lords of Terra, and when they lost the war, the church lah, okay, they lost the war. Then the High Lords, right, they made the church leaders sign a contract. They say, okay, you may not have men under arms. Yeah, really, that's the law. It's like you cannot have in your organization, you may not have men bearing arms.
No men allowed.
No men.
So they give the
arms.
arms to women.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was like the loophole. They think they're very clever. That was the loophole. But then eventually, right, the High Lords was just like, okay lah, you violated the spirit of the rule, but never mind. You have proven yourself to be such an effective fighting force, right, that we have no choice but to just acknowledge that this is where the Adeptus Sororitas was born. So the original thing was that you can have no man under bearing arms. So they just, okay lah, here's a woman. We didn't violate.
Loophole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
that was and I thought that would have been made so much more interesting if you can somehow put it inside the television show. And by the way, the Sisters of Battles are, as far as I know, the only other group other than Space Marines and some Inquisitors that can wear power armor. Power armor is like the peak, like one of the peak levels of technological advances lah. Normal soldier cannot wear power armor one. So only Space Marines, okay, which are the Custodes, right? Those are the Omega power level soldiers, like superhuman soldiers. But the Adeptus Sororitas, right, the female army, they are just normal humans. They're just regular humans. They are not superhumans, okay? But they can wear power armor. So actually, this brings them like quite to an elevated status.
Yeah, they
already.
got swag.
In my mind. Yeah. So that the creators of this new television show, they want female Space Marines, right? Just to kind of like shoehorn it in, I thought was not a great idea lah. I think
Definitely not.
Yeah,
So if you Google, are there female Space Marines on Google, right? Every result will come out and tell you there are no.
Yes.
Genetically wise, it's not possible, they say. I'm not sure about the law. Yeah. But I think nowadays the TV shows, they have to include at least one female, one dark skin character.
No, POC. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, you can insert a female character, but it doesn't have to be a Space Marine. It can be a Battle Sisters. It can be a Guardsman.
Yeah.
If you play Space Marine, the original game, that's
so one of the chatters here, Delegration. You can find great female characters in the Sisters of Battle, Eldars, Guardsmen, Assassins, etc.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
I mean,
Inquisitors as well.
yeah, there's just so many for them to choose from.
Yeah,
That it's not
enough.
really necessary to be like, oh yeah, let's just make a female Space Marines.
Yeah.
And so you thought this is the end of the story? No. I'm sorry, no. This is not the end of the story.
What?
This is not
What more
this
do
is
you
not
want?
ultimately what made my blood boil. Okay.
Okay.
So I would like to first qualify by saying that I think Henry Cavill is the most unlucky actor ever on the face of the planet.
Oh
Like
dear.
this guy is just a bubble of bad luck. So he came out and then he started to criticize Amazon's direction when they want to include female Space Marines. So all of us deep in the law, right, we're just like, hey, yeah, we can just Google it and then, yeah, confirm plus chop inside the GW, all of the storybooks, not a single female Space Marine has ever been there. But then guess what? Guess what, broskies? Let me
What?
tell you, let me read out this tweet.
What happened,
on the
broski?
Warhammer official tweet. This was April 14 this year. Since the start of the 10,000, so these are the custodians, these are the before the Space Marines, so they are like Omega Space Marines, okay? Since the first of the 10,000 were created, there has always been female custodians.
Where?
So they just retcon. They just decided, you know what? We're just going to change the entire universe from this moment on. After Henry Cavill came out and criticized Amazon's take on it. So he really very lose face. He really
Yeah.
very lose face.
dear.
But I think it's really bad on the GW side. Sorry, GW, but you have a well-known celebrity that is backing your law, backing your franchise. He wants to create something out of that IP, and then you kind of backstab him like that. I think it's very sad for him.
And you backstab the fan base.
Yes, correct. Exactly.
I think the fan base,
base.
was very, very upset about this. Yeah. How do you feel about it? Or like now that you hear me talk about it, right, Wendy, how do you feel about all of this topic?
I can only think about how Cavill. Yeah, I feel bad for him because in The Witcher, I remember that he left the series as well because they changed the storyline of the book that he loved a lot. And to see this happen again to him is just a bit like, bummer.
He really,
the very unlucky dude.
he really is just one of the most unlucky. Like this guy, he's just trying to fight for the fans. He just want to give the fans what they want. And then the Hollywood people are just like, hey, guess what? Here's another idea.
Oh man.
Here's something else. You don't like it? There's the door. All right.
Yeah.
Please, we will replace you with Liam Hemsworth. Okay.
Oh my God.
Equally, a actor of equal caliber to you. Okay. Henry Cavill will be not the popular Hemsworth. Not the handsome Hemsworth. Okay. It is in fact the younger brother of the more popular, more handsome Hemsworth brother.
Why?
I also don't know lah.
Oh man.
It just boggles my mind so much that this is the way that they decided to execute all these films. They decided to produce it. Just blows my mind.
So I mean, if you look at Fallout recently, do you watch the show Fallout?
I haven't watched it. No.
Okay, it is fantastic. Have you watched the show Fallout?
I heard that it's like really good.
Yeah, so
I've seen the game.
Yeah, so I played the game Fallout and I watched the show and I really love it. They follow the law as much as possible and they finally give us a look on how the world got nuked. So it's a very good show and they follow everything. They have a dark skin character, they have a female lead, they have a male lead, and there's no need to change too much from the game. Yeah, so I don't understand why GW or Amazon has to do this.
Yeah, I mean there's something to be said. Like I heard about the Fallout TV show, and you're right lah. Basically like they have all these like check boxes, right? But the check boxes themselves, they are not like integral to the essence of the show. Like what makes the show ultimately good is good writing. I heard that even the female lead, she's not like a superhuman. Everything gets everything right the first time. She has to go through a journey.
Yes.
She needs to learn stuff. Then she was a vault dweller, then grow up to the surface, and have to learn things from scratch. Basically making mistakes, learning from it, developing her character. And this is what we want from TV shows, right? We want to have the humanizing experience. We want to support the main character because they are struggling,
Yes.
right? And then at the end of it, they learn something. They come out on the other side of the struggle better than before, and this is what we want, right? Not just women good,
Yes.
men bad.
I want to root for authentic characters who are strong in their own right, not the fact that woman over man or man over woman.
So we have Delegation again. It's so weird to have to retcon stuff just because it's just discount all the great female characters that are already established. 100%.
Yes.
So okay, then we have, if can have female space marines, they can have Misters of Battle.
Misters of Battle. Yeah.
Meteor Storm, yes. We should have the Misters of. We should just retcon the church, right? The ecclesiarchy, the contract, right? No men bearing arms. Like no.
No,
Just have them bearing
nuke 'em.
arms. Yeah.
Nuke 'em.
Just Misters of Battle. Let's go. Shahu says it's all about the long game. Making Amazon happy is more profitable than making Superman happy. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, so Superman is the other thing, right? He
Yeah.
cannot act so unceremoniously
Oh no.
from the
I
DCU.
forgot about that.
Yeah, it's just so
Yeah, they even put a cameo of him in the what's the
that rock
The Rock
movie.
show?
Yeah.
Black Adam?
Black
Yes.
Adam, okay, so Delegation again. Spends all his AP on that one jackpad move. Is this something to do with the
I
Fallout?
have no idea, man.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
Vault Dweller are useless in the actual Fallout world when they first start. Yeah, I mean that's basically true. And it makes for great story material. Yeah. So Jisuri says good characters are good for real. Well,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
for real.
I can't
Yeah,
argue against
So
them.
here's hoping that Amazon will just keep Cavill on and scrap the stupid female space marine thing. But I think that's not going to happen.
It probably is not going to happen.
Yeah.
There's a lot of signs pointing that Henry Cavill has already exited from the show already, but haven't announced anything. I think
it's all still rumors.
Yeah, I think maybe they're still trying to have closed door meetings, behind the scenes stuff, and try to salvage whatever that is salvageable. But hard to say. Okay.
But here's a question: Would you rather Henry Cavill leave, or would you Henry Cavill stay on and do what Amazon wants?
Wendy, do you have any thoughts about that?
So difficult. I mean, he's obviously not going to have the passion the same way if he just wants to please Amazon, I mean, he probably is a very passionate person. And I'm happy if he leaves. If he feels happy leaving, then yeah, whatever, man. Honestly.
How about you, John?
I think I agree with Wendy. I think building up goodwill is a bit more important than getting paychecks at this for him lah. I think he's already sufficiently wealthy. It's not necessary for him to get that extra $30 million or whatever. So, if he is truly as passionate as he markets himself to be, which I'm tending to believe now lah. Okay, things might change in the future, but I tend to believe it now. If that's the case, exit the show, continue to build the goodwill of the people, and hope that at some point in the future things will change enough that he can make the show that he wants to make. And I think that's
agree.
Because things are always getting reboot, getting remade, reshoots. Stuff is always. If he participates in a terrible 40K world or TV show, I think it will just eliminate almost all of the goodwill that is being built up for him.
I agree.
If he wants to do something in the future, then it's over. It's game over. We're not going to believe him anymore. And
yes.
So Henry Cavill, I will forever 支持 you. Okay, I will forever support you. If you stay true, okay, leave the show. It's fine. Then after that, find another studio that's willing to recreate the vision that you imagine it.
And I guess on that, we are all three of us here on the same page. I also support Henry Cavill leaving the show if that's what Amazon wants in that.
Yeah.
Kaito Yuryu says we need mega level nerds to rise up as directors. Only then things will change. I don't know, man. I don't
think it's the directors, I think
it's the producers. That's one thing. A lot of the executive producers, they have overwhelmingly more power on the set. The director just kind of chooses the creative what do you call it, capture, right? They're just more about the capturing
the on-screen thing,
the on-screen stuff. But the behind the stuff, the stuff that is okay, we want to have female space marine, whatever. All these are executive producer level stuff already.
Yeah. And
then we have Silent Seal. 100% agree to that sentiment. I guess that's for all of us. Meteor Storm. Money speaks. Delegation. Henry Cavill should definitely just exit if the project if creative vision cannot align. But I do applaud people like him who really fights for his principles vision. We need stronger spearhead. Yep. And then Shahu. Yes, he should leave. We don't know what else Amazon is butchering. Yeah, that's also true.
Yes.
Right. There's going to be female orcs.
Oh no!
There's the whole point of the orcs is that they are a single gender species because they are not actually a dimorphic species.
Yes.
They don't need to have male and female to reproduce.
What's your gender, orc?
Yes. No, you know what's the gender of an orc? Fungus.
Okay? Yeah.
So it's actually portrayed in the Two Towers where who's that guy in the tower who's producing orcs? They literally drop out of the tree bark.
Yes. So in fact, the orc, right, is you kill them, right, then their body will just disperse the spores.
Make new one.
New orcs. Yeah.
Where's my fungus representation?
Yeah, there's the fungus gender. Okay? They are the Jusuri. They are fungi. Yes, they are very fun guys. Okay? They are very fun guys. Yeah, we just hope that we get the 40K movie, TV show that we deserve, that we the fans deserve, and Amazon get your sticky little greedy fingers out of our property. All right, get out of there. Okay.